everyone, I hope that you're staying happy and healthy. If you're like me, you're still practicing social distancing measures due to COVID-19. So this week, instead of doing a new aerial trick, I thought that instead I would do kind of a product comparison. I've been seeing a lot of advertisements for both yoga trapezes as well as aerial hammocks. In today's video, we'll talk about the advantages and disadvantages of each one. Please feel free to DM me on either Instagram or Facebook if you have any questions.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get into things. So first we'll start with the similarities between the two. Both the yoga trapeze and the yoga hammock provides an excellent, fun way to work out, to gain muscle strength, to improve your flexibility. Both are also going to give you an opportunity to invert in a way that's much more safer if you don't have the proper core strength. So here's where we'll start to get into those key differences between the functionality of the two. So the first thing that I actually bought was the yoga trapeze. In a way, this kind of led to several disappointments because of what I was hoping to get out of my experience. I was hoping to do those pretty poses and eventually the pretty sling dancing that I saw on YouTube. If this is the kind of thing you're going for, a yoga trapeze is probably not the best option. One key difference between the two setups is the yoga trapeze is made out of the parachute kind of material. So while it can provide some advantages, its inability to stretch can cause a lot of problems when you're trying to do pretty tricks. It can even make some really simple tricks like straddle back or even just standing on the hammock can be a bit more painful because it doesn't have this give that the aerial hammock has. In contrast, the aerial hammock is much more stretchy, and this provides a few advantages. You're able to wrap up within the aerial hammock in a way that is much less painful. In addition to that, since there's more material to work with, you're able to do much more complex poses that you cannot do with the trapeze. Depending on what you're looking for, however, there are some advantages to this. One drawback of the aerial hammock is that it snags very easily. Taking off your jewelry before you start is an absolute must. Meanwhile, I think it would probably be pretty difficult to damage the trapeze. Now to the most visually apparent differences between the two. For the yoga trapeze, it's not just a one piece of fabric like the hammock is. Instead, it's comprised of 3 material pieces, which includes the sling as well as 2 handlebar extensions, I'll call them. So sometimes these can get in the way. But on the flip side of that, these handles can also provide a lot of benefits, especially if you don't have a lot of upper body and core strength. It can make it easier to get out of inversions, and it can also be used as a tool to leverage your weight in different ways to contribute to your workout. The hammock, on the other hand, is pretty simple apparatus. It's literally just a stretch of fabric that's knotted on each end in order to hold it up. But since the hammock is one long piece of fabric, it's also a much wider piece of fabric. And this provides the opportunity to do many more restorative poses within the hammock, which can be a super cozy feeling. There's nothing like taking Shavasana within the hammock itself. You feel nice and enclosed, and it's soothing. You don't get this kind of experience with the trapeze just because there's not enough material to do that. So in conclusion, if you're wanting to do the kind of poses, like pretty poses that you see on Instagram or the sling dance that you see on YouTube, you're probably going to be better off go ahead and purchasing a hammock, especially if you're limited in your budget. If you're just looking at something just to work out with that you don't have to worry about snagging and that you can use for assisted pull-ups and that kind of thing, then the yoga trapeze is probably for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you found it helpful, and again, please feel free to reach out.